speaker is Captain Purnendu Shorey, popularly known as Offing Shorey. He has about 30 years of experience in the industry, including 14 years of shore-based experience in areas of marine asset management, inspection, surveying, marine insurance, shipbuilding, green recycling, marine HR. But I'll stop here and I'll let you get on with the task at hand. Captain Shorey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi everyone, I'm Purnendu. Before I get started, can someone tell me what is this? Come on. The boys in the background. What is this? You guys are putting up posters there. What is this? Bachpan ki yadein, right? This is a windmill in its truest form. And before I go on, is power in the hall. 2002, when I was still a chief officer, just about to get my command, I decided to do some work when I was ashore. And I went to ISF group, and Pawan said, okay, if you want to do some work, you have to give a PowerPoint presentation. And I did. He gave me the job. So if you don't like what I have to say, you have to blame Pawan. Let's give a big round of applause for Pawan. My boss, my mentor, the man who's taught me a lot. The interesting part about what I'm going to speak is that when I came to know this fantastic conference, Confluence, we said we have been doing some work at offing over the last year and a half in an area which is yet to take shape in India, and that is offshore wind farm. Now, for those who want to understand the meaning of the word offing, it's very simple. It's the first three alphabets of offshore and wind farming, that's offing. But actually not. Offing is when you stand on the shore. As far as you can see is in the offing. So this is in the offing. Wind farming has been there for a few thousand years. You've all seen pictures like this. You all who travel by car in Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, can see wind farms on shore. But we are going to discuss about wind farming offshore. And we have people from Scandinavia here who will say, yes, it's a very common thing. But in India, not yet. And we are discussing possibilities for the young lads behind to research. So what are we going to research in? There's a lot of scare about jobs, there's a lot of scare about autonomous ships. But humans have evolved very quickly always and have found ways to keep themselves gainfully employed. So here is one more way we can keep ourselves gainfully employed. Offshore wind farming sizes have increased. Don't look at these numbers, 10 megawatts, 10 gigawatts. How many ever watts that is? That is for you all to research. But the bottom line is, if you Google offshore wind farming, you will see it's happening all over the world, the latest being Taiwan. Of course, there was Scandinavia. The UK is big on offshore wind farming. And why are they? Because this is one of the greenest forms of energy that is available. What's happening in the world currently? United Kingdom, fully commissioned 7,500 megawatts, going down to Portugal, Ireland. So you see a host of countries there who have already invested, and these are commissioned projects, projects in progress, or projects which are going to be taking shape very soon in the future. Cities are being lit, if that is a common word nowadays, on the basis of offshore wind energy. It's very simple. You stand on top of your terrace, the amount of wind you experience compared to when you stand on top of a hill, and now take yourself out at sea, and you have the answer, where is the maximum wind? 5 years ahead, we can see 2027 there. If you can't read it from there, I'll read it to you. The US had something very complicated called the Jones Act, and that prevented a lot of development in the offshore market. But in the last 18 months that I have had the opportunity to spend time and a lot of money to go and understand how offshore wind energy works, they too have opened up gates. In fact, India is exporting offshore windmills and blades to the US. So we are there, but not yet. So what is India doing? There is a first offshore wind project of India. It's already there. You can again Google it. They had some idea that by 2022 we will have the first project going, but that's more like the Mumbai Metro. So you're going to have a little bit of a delay there. But yes, Tamil Nadu and Gujarat, and we all know why Gujarat, are the two states which are going to look at offshore wind farming in the very near future. Now we come to the best part of it. Whose domain? I'm going to take this away from Captain Bhardwaj. Whose domain is the sea? Our domain. Whose domain is offshore? Our domain. So are we going to let this industry go away from our hands into the hands of technicians who are working on electric and other power stations and go and work there? Or are we going to develop our own crews? One of the companies I met in the UK, in London, said to me, Purnendu, we have a lot of people going and working on offshore wind farms. They have got no maritime background, but they don't really do it well. And I asked them why. There is a simple reason. They get seasick. They have to stay at the wind farm area for a month, going from one mill to another, one windmill to another, and between that passage, they get seasick. And I was like, good. I'm very glad that this is happening. Why? Because this opens opportunities for people who are at sea. We're talking about ships, right? If you look at the kind of tonnage that is used to build and maintain these offshore wind farms, is either the same or a better version of what we see in the offshore sector today. They are DP enabled. You've got a good job. Oh. They have fantastic equipment on board. They have seafarers on board. And they have technicians who go and maintain the farms. They have QHSE regulations. Well, so do we. But the question remains that if India is one of the largest suppliers of manpower to the world for shipping, why is it that we don't see any Indians yet in the offshore wind farm sector when there are 15 countries who already have wind farming projects going on? Why don't we see Indians there? We don't see Indians on those ships. We don't see Indian technicians on top of those windmills maintaining them. Why? Because we haven't thought about it. So here is a chance. We still have time. We have the Airport WTI doing work in India. We have DNPGL somewhere here. They have invested a bit of money. There are Delhi, there's some projects going on, there's some research going on. But all that research is being done by people who have no clue of the sea. They can do a lot of work with regards to how to make an offshore wind farm, how to get it taller, how to get maximum output out of it. But they don't have any information on how to man those ships. They don't have any information that seafarers are automatically qualified. These guys do the same 5 basic courses, Captain Vakil and the others, Mr. Vakil and the others, Maritime Training Institute, good news to you. They do the same 5 courses and they go there. They get seasick. They are unable to do that work. Secondly, the ships there are getting more and more modern. They are planning to run and operate these wind farms 12 months in a year, unlike our offshore sector, which becomes quiet in the monsoon. Well, more the wind, more the power, simple as that. So, the question which I want to put up here forward, not a question, a suggestion to this Confluence and to those who are looking to research, let's research on something that we don't know about. Let's find out that why is it when 15 countries already have offshore wind energy projects going on with ships, with technicians, why not an Indian? Because we haven't thought about it. We constrict ourselves to merchant ships, offshore vessels, and some of us today have started looking at cruise ships. Well, here is an industry. I know that people talk about green energy and different sorts of energy that has to be looked after. Google it. You can subscribe to the offshore wind farming portal. You will get daily updates till you unsubscribe on what is happening in the offshore wind farming sector. But remember one thing, if we have to develop our people, if we have to develop our expertise, if we have to develop our mariners to take up jobs in this sector, we need to research. We need to sit down collectively as an industry, not as individuals. Training institutes who keep striving that how do we develop the next course on, well, even today, sadly but true, we are still trying to get a perfect course on enclosed space entry. People still die in enclosed spaces. Right? I mean, that's bizarre. I went to sea in the 1990s, many went before that. And we are still trying to figure out, should it be a gaming app? Should it be a simulator? Should it be a real tank that we put them in? Well, it could be all, it could be none, it could be just getting that man's head right in that position. Once he does that, he will not jump. And I'll give you a simple example. We all cross roads in Mumbai, and I cross roads in Dhaka as well, sir. How do you cross the road when you're alone? Vis-a-vis, how do you cross it when you have your child with you? And there's your answer. It's the same person with the same knowledge, with the same training, with the same sensitivity, but he or she operates differently because they assess the risk as much higher when they have the child with them. So if we have to enter this industry, and we are really looking to research out of this place, we are really wanting to develop alternate possibilities for our seafarers in the future, let's also give this industry a shot. We have, and trust me, there is money to be made, there are jobs to be taken, and Indians have another area where they can excel in. Go India. What sort of skills do we need? What are these ships? What are walk-to-work vessels? What's a heat-compensated gangway? Learn about it. Research about it. Better the design. You said, sir, that shipbuilding. Well, so sorry to say, we are all, most of you are from the same continent at least. We've been a disaster at shipbuilding, at least commercial ships. We've done all right with defense vessels because we don't have an option. But as far as commercial ships are concerned, we've been a downright disaster. Yeah, most of them have either been shut. The biggest one is the NCLT, and we're just trying to hog our way around. India is a shipbuilding nation. Well, in my opinion, we are neither a shipbuilding nation and we are barely a ship-owning nation as we speak. But we have our own sets of skills. And we could develop. You guys could actually design better ships in the future. We did not. But look at this. You can build manpower. Training. People talk about virtual reality, augmented reality, and all those fancy words. Well, frankly, a blackboard and a white chalk is still used in IIM Ahmedabad. And it gets the message across. It's okay to develop new tools. Get the people to think right first. What about staff who service and maintain the windmills? People talk about ETOs. People talk about, a lot of institutes say our ETOs are not getting jobs, RPSL companies are not taking them, what do we do? The ETOs go online, sir, as is in your country, they put posts on Facebook, all that is fine. That is social media, the word suggests it. We've got a solution, we should work on it. Vessels. Check out what kind of vessels they use. They're very high-spec vessels. Some big companies, in fact, actually run them already, not with Indians yet, right? We at Offing have been in this arena for the past 18 months. We're not a very old company. We're just in the 6th year of our own company, and most people associate us with song and dance, which we love to do. But we also pay attention to these sort of areas. So I urge the committee here, if found suitable, to look at this topic of offshore wind energy as an area where we research, collaborate, come up with solutions, make money, give jobs to people, and have some real solutions. And Mr. Amitabh said in the morning so correctly, the one who speaks the loudest gets heard first. Well, so be it. If we have to be loud about our capability in this area after spending time and money, we are very good at spending time. We have a problem when we have to put the hands in the pocket. And I can say that with some authority. So let's not do that. Let's invest wisely. Let's not open 50 institutes who do research on this. But if there are 3 who are willing to, support them. Take that technology forward. Use the modern mechanisms. People are waiting. Whatever I could gather from, well, most of my trips were in Europe. There was one in the East. What I could gather is, Purnendu, we just have one question for you. You're talking about it. Why aren't you guys doing something about it? We don't hear anything from India. Anything when it comes to offshore wind energy. Nothing. Whereas Siemens, Vestas, Suzlon, although they're going bankrupt now, GE manufacture their windmills and blades in South India. We have loaded them for P&I clubs we work with, for underwriters we work with. So you have an option to go there. And I will leave you with saying this. If you have it in you, it's in the offing. Thank you so much.
And okay, there's one joke I want to crack. I had written it, sir, but I forgot.
Is it because I got up? You want
No, somebody can stand. It's a genuine joke. So we wanted to support this Confluence, and I told Pawan will be the tea reception partner, and he must have wondered why. Because the last time the guy became a chai wala, you know what you're doing to him.